Hi, this is Rook with Mostly Harmless. We're going to take a look at some of the weapons in Albion Online. Mostly just want to show you the range of the skills and some of the damage that's done. This is again for our guild members for upcoming Albion Online. The game's going to change a lot, of course, but people have a lot of questions about the basics. That charge didn't work. He was too close. But you can see the effect of the hamstring around there. That's the W skill, and the Q is your big damage attack. Now look at the damage. This is the Claymore, two-handed weapon. It is just dishing out damage. That is a tier 4 boar. I'm in tier 4 armor, and this tier 4.2 weapon just demolishes enemies. Let's look at the inventory here to look at the stats. Physical damage 169, attack speed of 1 per second, so it does 169 DPS. Nice and easy to figure out. It is a better quality weapon, so it is doing a bit more damage. And I think my helmet actually is for magic damage, so it's not even being helped with that. My armor would help a little bit. This is the ability. Heroic Strike does 519 damage, cooldown of 2 seconds, incredible low-cost skill, and it just demolishes enemies. This, of course, the hamstring is what keeps them close by if it's an actual PvP situation. I love this weapon as a tackler in PvP. And then the charge. Cooldown of 30 seconds, 15-meter range. It doesn't say it there, but you can see it across the board when you do use it. And let me just charge. Let's charge like that rabbit there. So you can see here, and you just zip towards it, 700 damage. It'll do a lot less, of course, against bigger enemies, but it dishes out damage. Of course, whenever you swap weapons, you do get a little bit of a cooldown. So all my abilities are on cooldown for a second. I'm going to swap now to show you the Great Mace. This weapon, 254 physical damage, but 0.67 attack speed. So that does translate into the same DPS, about 170 DPS. Spells on this one. Now, Claymore dishes out tons of damage, it's good tackle, but this one heals you as you do the damage. It heals you for a fair bit as well. Disruptive Strike, again, easy, good ability to choose. The other option for this first ability is something, well, there's more options in later levels, but it's one that drains energy, 15 energy, in fact, from enemies. And this heal, I'll show you after a fight here. It just is a big AoE heal. Unfortunately, though, the cooldown is 30 seconds, so it's not enough to be really useful in a PvP situation. Maybe if you had enough people with it. Let's see if we can find a boar here. I'm choosing boars because they do 102 damage. So here's my heal. You can see it's healing me for 61 at each strike. That is basically keeping me, look at my health is not going down. So it's very good that way. I have a heal on the leather armor. You do want to wear leather armor with two-handed weapons in general. Oops, sorry, talking too much. Should have been disrupting that. I'll do the AoE heal. This is, oh sorry, that's my, this is the AoE heal from the weapon. So those first 3 abilities are all from the two-handed weapon. Of course, two-handed weapons have 3 abilities associated with them. Very nice AoE heal. I think I didn't catch it there, but I believe it would be about 160 per tick with the current armor and everything that I'm wearing. Nice weapon. Good solo weapon. If you were in plate mail, it would give you something to heal, whereas leather is one of the only armors that gives you a heal, or maybe the harp at a later level. Now let's try the bow. So the bow does not have the same DPS. Physical, 103 damage. That's it. 103 per second. That's it. I did choose the attack range bonus. It does have some skills that are longer, so this one takes a second to cast, but is a 15-meter range. Not many skills go 15 meters, whereas your other skills are 9 meters each. Poisoned arrow, good tick damage, and in this case, for this first tier 4 weapon, I can't say too much for the bow. That I'm not that impressed with it. But let's just show you in action. And again, those other weapons were 4.2, so it's a bit misleading. It makes it seem like you can see the effect of any slow there. 153 damage with that basically 1 second cast time shot. Nothing to brag about there. I'll use the others are instant. They do actually decent damage. The tick is always the important one, so you get some decent tick damage. But I do have to use my heal afterwards. So that's the bow. Again, not that impressed. Later on, there are some better bows and stuff. Let's try a cursed staff. Now, with a cursed staff, 159.8 per second. So again, this is just the auto attack damage. But then with the skills, you've got a Sorry, that one does 486 and reduces their heals and stacks. Let's switch to this one. This one, the other ability is Life Drain. So again, another option for plate or cloth wearers. This weapon will heal you as you attack, as you use this skill, and it heals it for a fair bit. This is just a damage that damages yourself, but then it does a dot of 88 damage per second for 10 seconds. Veil of Fear, it's terrible. It's a 1 minute cooldown, and let's just show you the fear here. Ooh, look, the fox ran away for half a second. Well, I mean, maybe it's longer than that, but it's not that impressive. Let's try and find a boar here. Again, just choosing the boar for that 102 damage that they do. So it gives you an idea. When he's dealing 38 damage to me, I can show you, well, probably in another video, just how the armor works. This is a channeled ability, so it could be interrupted. I should have started with the W. I always want to start with that. And then heal yourself, of course, for the damage you're doing. The fear I'm not going to use. Basically, the great staff, it's shite. Why would you use it when it does only a little bit more than, say, the one-handed? I mean, the DPS. Well, we're not too concerned about that, but the spell damage is not that much more. If I were just to level this up to a tier 5 curse staff, that would be the same power level as that tier 4.2 great staff, and it would heal me probably for a similar amount. Magic damage would be a similar amount. You do get, I wouldn't use this one necessarily, but you have the option in the curse staff line to get some different abilities. You can see that in the Destiny board there, and one of the rare options is that 10% chance to heal yourself, sort of like with some of the later daggers, I believe. So I would certainly, the one-handed allows you to put something in your other hand. That is much better. But let's look at the hammer. This is one of the few stun items in the game. So the other stun item in the game is the spear. It's very nice, it's got a good range, and certainly something to consider. Now you would put a shield in your hand normally. The Q this is basically stacking, and in this case it's making him do less physical damage. It's reducing his physical and magic attack power. The W is the actual stun, so I'm going to do that to him right now. He's stunned for just a second. It's really hard to see that there. Let's just move over. So here's the damage numbers. I'm doing 62 with each auto attack. I do a little more with my ability, of course. And then you get to see another stun. You would have a shield equipped so that you're not taking quite as much damage, but you give it an idea of what you can do. Any of these animals, they do melee damage at the moment, so that means that if I were in physical or plate mail, basically, that I will get a better resist. Leather's good. If I were in cloth, I would be getting hit hard, so you would definitely want to be wearing a shield to compensate for that. That's just part of the strategy with this game, is that you always want to be, and Kodiak tries to drill this every time he's talking to people. Oh, there's a boss. Don't touch him by myself at this level, or at any level probably. You want that balance, and leather is really nice because it gives you a lot of flexibility, it gives you a lot of mobility. I always like mobility in any game. However, there are some interesting abilities. Plate mail, there's basically some extra damaging abilities that you can get, and cloth, the same thing. So let's just go up here and just show you the mace, the last couple items here. Again, I could throw on a shield, show you some more stuff there, but I want to do that in the armor video more. This is that same kind of idea as the two-handed mace. I have equipped the one with the heal just to show you how bad this is. Could be good someday. But at the moment, it's all about CC reduction, and it just doesn't do that much. So I'm healing for about 53, not too bad compared to the Great Hammer. Let's try this heal. Wow, 17, 17, 17. Well, it's times 5 or whatever it is. It's not much of a heal. It does increase your CC resistance by 240 for those 5 seconds. Maybe that could be good, but it's not a lot of CC. Well, not a lot of effective CC in this game just yet. So that's the mace. Last is the sword, and I think I got to show you the fire staff too, probably. Actually, just waiting on cooldown here, but we'll get that boar when he comes back. Sword, not surprised. I mean, the DPS for the sword, it's basically the same as the DPS for the mace and hammer. 115 at this earliest tier 4 level. Oops, just my timing is usually use the disrupt early for some extra damage and then use it again later with the boar at about this mark. At 40% health, that's 700 and something range. That's when they do their little berserker stance that you want to interrupt. Anyways, all good. There's no heal with it. It does increase your resistance. You can see it's stacking on the far left here for increasing my physical and damage resistance, but it's okay for a tanking item, I guess. So I'm getting my heal off, of course, before I change items or weapons, because it's just not as good with, well, because you got a cooldown. Let's see, there was another boar here. I want to show you the fire staff. It's a good one to end with. Let's just wait 2 seconds here.
Oh, drop is free?
Let's see the range, 9 meters. Okay, ready? So I usually do the W first and then the Q. The Q you can cast a bunch of times. It's a nice damage spell. These guys have balance resist as you'd expect. So sort of a, oops, should have used my E. Talking too much here. Anyways, you can use on any of the animals, they have balance resist just like a person wearing leather armor. But they have melee damage. I don't know if you saw there, but basically it does a lot of damage and very quickly. So it's a good item. I do want to show the other option with the fire staff, which is the fire bomb, because some people are curious about that.
Are you installing it now?
I can just show you that here in a second. So we're going to hit that guy. Let's try, this is a fire nova. It basically does damage all around you in an area. Possibly good if you're surrounded by multiple enemies and you got a healer and you want to do something with that. Let's try W. That's basically a few seconds. Look at that range. That's actually decent. You wouldn't want these two in combination with each other, but I did want to show the other two abilities. So that's the Fire Nova, which says it's uninterruptible, 152 magic damage per second for 5 seconds around you. AoE, of course, is important. In PvP, it's what can make or break a small group against a larger group. Do I want to be standing next to them to use that? I'm not sure. With this spell, I could do something totally different and maybe move them around.
Yes.
Some really interesting things to show you with the reflect and some different things with the armor and the problems with that, but I'll save that for a different video. This is Rook with Mostly-Harmless, and these are just some of the weapons in this game. Of course, you'll be able to see more. They're going to condense the Destiny board maybe, or change some things here. Who knows? It's all in alpha, but it is developing in an exciting way. Just to make it very clear, though, there is something important, like I think you can see it here with the crossbow. Am I being attacked? Nope. Okay.
Wait, why can't you play?
Really important here. The tier 3, sorry, not tier 3.
Why can't you play Trove?
Expert's crossbow. Basically 159 damage times 0.8 in terms of seconds. And then this one is 254 times 0.5. Anyways, it works out to the same damage. This tier 4.2 item is a power level 5 item. So those damages are about the same. It's based on the power level. Don't worry about too much if someone's going more the horizontal route rather than the vertical. It's okay. It'll work out okay in the end. They will take longer in fame. They will cost more for their items, whereas you might progress quicker in those cheaper items. In the end, they could get to more stuff. However, in the end, you could steal all their stuff when you beat them up in PvP because you ganked them with a few friends. This is Rook with Mostly-Harmless, and we'll see you out on the battlefield.
I need a glyph thing.